All right, we are going live again. Here we are, Sunday afternoon, and I was thinking a lot over the last, I'd say 24, 48 hours about going live. And I thought, why don't I do it? And we'll use StreamYard this time. The other day, I had gone live and I just did it strictly through Facebook. This time around, it's all just going to be through, what do I got here? Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. I still call it Twitter, X, that we're going live through. So today I'm going to talk about some more pieces of advice. I think of things that I've learned as a solopreneur, because like running your own personal business that is just a one person business, it's hard. It's rewarding too. It's exciting at the same time, but it can be downright scary. So I think today I want to give some valuable tips and maybe tricks a little bit that are going to help some people maybe master and understand this world of solopreneurship. I'm going to give it from a little bit of my angle and my style of things that I've learned, because I've learned a lot over the last year of trying to build multiple one person businesses. And when I talk about multiple one person businesses, so things that I've done over the last year, like I've done coaching, I've done consulting, I've done for you hiring. Of course, my favorite is really video batch creation, the social media management side of things that I love to do. To me, that's the most fun. And I say it's the most fun because it's the one I primarily focus on actually the most. And I think that's my first piece of advice. I think it's crucial that when you are trying to build a business as a solopreneur, you define your niche and you ultimately find your expertise and focus on delivering that unique value to your target audience. The thing that I love to do was create content, and I've been doing it on the side through different avenues and things that I've been working on over the course of the last year. And I realized that I love to batch create. So why don't I find a way to monetize batch creating content? And that's ultimately what I've done. And I think that when you focus on the thing that you absolutely love to do and you monetize it, then you can maybe separate yourself from the competition because you're now more of an expert at what you do, which I think is really important. I think the next thing I want to share today is the importance of creating that solid brand identity, like making sure that your brand message aligns with your values and it resonates with your target market. Because like earlier today, I was editing a video. I was editing a video from my podcast, The Chris Hanna Show, that I just released this past week. I had dropped 15 new episodes and I had done 15 episodes binge Netflix style, dropping all at once. And during this one episode that I was kind of doing editing the video on, I was talking about how, like, because I swear that sometimes that can hurt. I think that that can repel customers and it takes business away from me, which I said in the video and I said in the podcast, I'm okay with, because I know my personal brand and my style and how I communicate, and maybe a bit more of my confidence or aggressiveness isn't for everyone. So I think that everyone needs to figure out what is their brand identity and how do they want to communicate. And you know what? You're going to either attract or repel people with your content, no matter what you do. And so, I think it's important to be yourself. And I advocate that I want to be myself, especially through content. So, it might not be the level that you want, or the level that somebody wants for you, I guess I should say, in terms of being professionalism. Maybe because, again, you swear, I swear, and that maybe turns people off. You got to find ultimately what works for you. Another thing I think that's important is to remember is that, like, as a solopreneur, you're going to be wearing a ton of different hats, and time management is vital. It's key. Like, you got to set those clear goals, prioritize those tasks, establish a routine that really maximizes your productivity. But you got to take breaks, and you have to make sure you recharge yourself, or you are going to burn out. I will admit that this past week, I definitely burnt out. I felt like I was not giving it my all in certain moments. I was struggling. I was maybe operating at 50 to 60% effectiveness because I was exhausted. I was exhausted from, personal reasons more than anything else, but I think it took a toll and it was hard for me to get back into the swing of things. And that sometimes you need to maybe take some time before you really fully jump in, because if not, it can get more difficult and you don't want that. Like, I think I should have probably spaced out some of the stuff that I tried to pack into this past week as well. I was making up for lost time with, challenges that happened in obviously my personal world. So you gotta take care of yourself. I think self-care is critical, and managing your time is important, or you will burn out and you'll start to feel like crap. And I certainly felt like crap. I think that I talk a lot about in general, just with a lot of my content, is the importance of content. Having that strong online presence as a solopreneur is really crucial. So make sure you're utilizing social media platforms and all the different strategies to reach more people. Like, it's obviously engaging with people that, are your followers, sharing valuable content along the way. I think that there's multiple forms of content, right? And I talked about a podcast, I do a lot over video. It could be, website content. It could be other types of social posts. You got to find what works for you. To me, I think video is where it's at, of course. I think that's where you can better convey a message. It's just where I think you can better, share, yourself and your true authentic self. That's why I decided to go live here this afternoon, just again to share, because I had some ideas, jotted down that I thought I wanted to talk about. I'm often asked though, when I like people see that I pump out a lot of content, and like I edited 40 videos for myself today, so I have even more content that's coming. But people always ask me like, why do you put out so much content? And why do I share so much as well? Because I do share a lot of what I know. My answer is pretty simple. Like, I believe in the power of being omnipresent when it comes to content creation. That means being seen everywhere. So I'm not just on obviously Facebook and Instagram or LinkedIn. I'm not just on one single platform. I'm on multiple platforms for a reason, because not everyone uses it. Like I did not use Facebook from 2007 until 2023. Like, I did not use it. So I went a long time without using Facebook. So if someone was only marketing on Facebook, I never would have seen it. So again, there's lots of people who are like that as well, right? Where you have to figure out where is your audience, and therefore being everywhere or being on as many channels as possible gets you more exposure, gets you more seen. The other thing that's important, I really truly believe with content, is to give back. Look, I've got a lot of knowledge and stuff that I've learned, and as does everybody. So why not make it as accessible as possible for people? Like, yeah, people always say like, "Oh, Chris, why don't you go like a course route and you can like, charge for it?" But that doesn't appeal for me. Like, I'm not really interested in going the, you know, educational product way. I'd rather focus on, you know, charging more for my expertise and the creativity of what I do with video than, maybe a course around it. I don't want to peddle an educational product either. To me, like, especially with AI, it's like, so education is should be more accessible than anything else. And I think it is in a lot of ways. So doing a course is just, to me, it's too low ticket. It's more focused more on quantity than quality in a lot of ways as well. Because I've bought in a lot of courses over the years and I've not been happy with the experience that I've had too. So I'd rather focus on the high quality game and high quality work when it comes to working with just a select few people, as opposed to just being large numbers and in mass. Other thing I think I've learned that has been really critical and important has been around networking. I think it's so important as a solopreneur, and I need to get better at it. I'll admit this. Attending different industry events or conferences, even just networking events in general are really critical. But like, when you connect with like-minded people, it is so important. And I think if you can collaborate and you can learn from others, then obviously that opens up new opportunities for you, and that can give you an opportunity you can connect, learn, and share together, and maybe grow together at the same time. Like, one thing that I've been thinking a lot about lately is the idea of putting on my own event, and how I believe that there's a lot of people who are going through similar experiences as solopreneurs or small business owners or even leaders in small companies that are looking for help. But, if they go to a networking event, all they do is, get someone thrusting a handshake on them and a business card and trying to sell at them versus actually trying to help them. And so creating more of an experience around being a community of helping one another, I think could be really beneficial. So I'm considering, trying to create something in terms of an event around this that I think just could help. No selling to each other, no boring business card swap, just providing value and actually trying to strengthen our business. I don't know if it's something that, you think that you're interested in. If you see this, let me know in the comments or DM me, because again, I want to see if there's people who are interested in that style of event versus the same old crap that we always get. Another lesson I think that I want to talk about here is also the importance of being adaptable and embracing those challenges. Look, as a solopreneur, you're going to face ups, you're going to face downs, but it's essential to learn from both, right? The failures and what continues to make you move and have success. Like, that growth mindset is so critical, especially as you're trying to build new skills, new knowledge to stay ahead. My journey as a solopreneur has had its ups and it's had its downs. I definitely, when I first kicked off things, I went through a stretch where I was not making any money at all. I had no income coming in for months after leaving my full-time job. And then once it clicked, I started seeing some money coming through, which was great. And then I started setting some phenomenal, I think what I call monthly income records, only to see then followed up by some inconsistency. You kind of, rest on your laurels a little bit and things don't work out. And then it becomes this feast or famine sometimes, which is something now I've come to realize is part of the game. I don't want it to be. I want to create predictable, consistent, income. but it is challenging. And so there's going to be curveballs that are thrown at you. But to me, being a solopreneur beats the shit out of being stuck in a 9 to 5, working for a boss, working for a company who will let you go or treat you like crap. Being my own boss, accountable for my own actions, is probably and still is one of the best things that I've ever done. And I highly recommend anyone who sees this video or has ever considered the idea of like, hey, I think I could turn this into a business, go for it. Try it. At least, I'd rather, have tried and failed than live a life of regret of never having done it. That's, I think, the mentality I always took. So I think in conclusion here, because I've just been rambling on now for 10 plus minutes, is that as a solopreneur, there's a lot of lessons that I've learned, and some of them are game changers. Some of them took me a while to figure out. Some of them I'm still learning these lessons. So whether it's finding your niche, whether it's establishing a strong brand, whether it's managing your time more effectively, finding ways not to burn out, or building that online presence, staying adaptable, solopreneurship isn't for everyone. But if it is for you, embrace it. Go all in, right? Create content, like I said, especially videos, and have fun with it, because I think that can make a world of difference for you. And ultimately, at the end of the day, thanks for watching this video. If you do watch it, if you found this information valuable, make sure you're subscribing to my YouTube channels for more insightful content, or give me a follow if we're not connected and you're seeing us on a social platform. Regardless, until next time, here's 3 words that are so important to me and that mean the difference, I think, for if you're going to be successful in anything you do. Go all in.